Miss Wanda just jumped back into the spotlight, got everybody talking again. From very end, because I'm breaking it all down. From what Miss Wanda said about Marsau Scott and Letitia Scott, to her shady comments about Ariani Curry, and how all of this ties into the never-ending drama between Melody Shari Holt, Martell Holt, and the entire Huntsville crew. So picture this. Miss Wanda jumps online again, talking a mile a minute like she always does, mixing up words, getting loud, and trying to sound important. Now, y'all know if Miss Wanda gonna do anything, she's gonna mispronounce a word. She tried to say, I digress, but baby, she said, I digest. The internet was in shambles. People were dragging her left and right, saying, girl, you not digesting, you digressing. But you know, Miss Wanda, she don't care. She doubled down like she meant it. And that's where the comedy turns to chaos. Because right after that slip-up, she started talking about Ariani Curry. Yes, Martell's infamous ex-side piece, saying that Ariani don't got no mother, no morals, no sense, and no support system. And that's when everybody's like, wait a minute, Wanda. Weren't you just defending your own daughter's husband for doing the exact same thing? The way she's been mispronouncing words to the way she's been defending Marsau like her life depends on it, the fans are sitting back like, now hold up. What did she just say? Because baby, Miss Wanda might think she's helping, but she's really exposing more than she realizes. Stay with me till the, yep, Miss Wanda really said she wouldn't let a man play with her the way Martell played with Ariane. But the fans were quick to remind her that she's been letting Marsau play in Letitia's face for years. The hypocrisy was louder than her country accent, honey. People started calling her out, saying, you can't call another woman a fool when your son-in-law out here allegedly doing the same thing. Because remember, for years, there's been talk about Marsau Scott and his alleged side pieces. All those rumors about the BMW, the mystery pregnancies, and the DMs he liked that he tried to downplay as old. And every single time, Miss Wanda comes running to defend him, blaming everyone else, especially Melody, instead of holding Marsau accountable. Now, let's not forget that Miss Wanda has always had a bone to pick with Melody Shari. She never liked how Melody carried herself. Always confident, polished, unbothered. Wanda has tried to tear that woman down for years, accusing her of being fake, of thinking she's better than everybody. But now, it's looking like everything Wanda said about Mel is actually reflecting right back on her and her family. Because while Melody moved on, built her businesses, and focused on peace, Miss Wanda and Letitia still stuck in the same cycle of defending a man who clearly does what he wants. And speaking of Letitia, the way she sits there smiling, pretending like her marriage is perfect, got people shaking their heads. Because every time Wanda opens her mouth to defend her daughter, she actually makes things worse. Instead of saying, you know what, maybe my daughter should demand more respect, she'll say something like, well, he not out here being inappropriate with no other woman. Girl, please. The receipts say otherwise. Fans remember that Instagram situation where Marsau allegedly liked a photo that he shouldn't have liked, that booty pic, and the way Kiki Jabbar, Letitia's cousin, had to come forward and set the record straight? Kiki said that incident wasn't 10 or 20 years ago like Letitia tried to claim. It was recent. And that's when the fans knew somebody in that Scott family been lying. Now, y'all, stay till the end because this next part right here connects all the dots. When Wanda went off on her rant about Ariane, she also threw shade at Melody again, saying, Melody thinks she better than people, but her man cheated too. Baby, that line revealed everything. Wanda's still stuck in the past, still bitter that Melody left Martell and didn't crumble like they thought she would. Because if we're being honest, that's what the Scotts wanted, for Melody to fall apart, to fail, to regret leaving. But instead, she leveled up. She built businesses, kept her kids thriving, and left the drama behind. And Wanda can't stand that. So what does she do? She tries to project that bitterness onto Ariane. She calls Ariane motherless. But really, she's mad that Ariane reminds her of her own daughter, a woman who keeps forgiving a man who embarrasses her publicly.
It's like watching the same story on repeat, except Melody decided to end her chapter, while Tisha and Ariane keep rewriting theirs with the same heartbreak. As the video kept playing, Wanda's words got nastier, more defensive. She started saying things like, "Ain't nobody gonna break up no happy home." Girl, what home? The one Marsau built on denial and disrespect? Fans were commenting live, saying, "Wanda, blink twice if you tired of lying." Another said, "She's fighting harder for Marsau's reputation than he is." And that's the truth. Marsau don't even defend himself this hard. He lets Wanda take all the heat because he knows she'll do it willingly. And let's not forget the history. When Kiki tried to be honest about what really happened between Marsau and those women, Wanda went to war. She turned that reunion into a shouting match, trying to drown out the truth. But we all saw it, the guilt, the deflection, the tension. And now, every time Wanda opens her mouth, she reminds us that the Scotts' so-called perfect marriage might just be built on secrets.
By the time Wanda wrapped up that live, she had dragged Ariane, defended Marsau, shaded Melody, and embarrassed herself all in one sitting. The fans were like, this is why the producers love her. She don't even need a script. But at some point, it stops being entertaining and starts being sad. Because behind all that noise, there's a woman who clearly feels powerless. She couldn't control her own marriage, so now she's trying to control her daughters. She couldn't stand up to her own man, so now she plays tough online. And that's what makes Miss Wanda such a complicated villain. She's messy, but she's also miserable. So as we wrap this up, let's be real. Miss Wanda might think she's exposing Ariane, but she really exposing herself. Every word she says about Ariane, about being motherless, about letting a man play you, applies to her daughter too. And until Letitia opens her eyes and sees that, the cycle will keep going. Marsau will keep doing what he wants, Wanda will keep yelling, and the fans will keep dragging. But don't go anywhere yet, because if you thought this live was wild, wait till you hear what's coming next. There are whispers that Kiki Jabbar and Melody Sherry might be linking up again. And if that happens, the Scotts better brace themselves, because those two together, they got receipts, and they ain't scared to use them. So make sure you stay till the very end of every episode, because the tea is only getting hotter. And that's exactly why we say, when Miss Wanda talks, we listen. Not for wisdom, but for clues. Clues about who's lying, who's covering, and who's falling apart behind the scenes. So as the fans like to say, we don't digress, baby. We digest, sip, and keep the receipts ready.